Hey, what's up? What's up, YouTube? It's King Geo again in the house. Two vids, two lives in a day. All right. Before I go any further, I'm not gonna tell you what you gotta do. Just subscribe to my channel. All right. So I wanted to do this video for a simple reason. That was better, right? You like my piano? Or it's on this side. I gotta remember where these things are at. Anyway, so let me see what is better because I don't want to see 20. All right. Let's leave it at that. Okay. So I wanted to do this video because it's funny. It's a funny thing. Okay, where we're gonna go at the Republicans, and I'm going to say this with the utmost respect. For those who know me, well, I want to say for those who know me know that I am a Republican, but I'm not your regular Republican. Okay, I don't go by. I don't vote because I want to vote because my party is there. I don't vote because of that. Not just yeah, I'm not a Republican. I don't vote for no party to be honest with you. I just vote for who the best person is, and to lead our country. All right. So if you're a Republican and you have a great ideas, and I'm going to vote for you. If you're a Democrat and you have a great ideas, I'm going to vote for you. If you're an independent and you got great ideas, I'm going to vote for you. So that depends on the person. Okay. So today the Republicans lashed out on Dr. Fauci. That Dr. Fauci first said to vaccinate. Now that he's saying that some cases are because of those people who are vaccinated are infecting other people. All right. Now you have the far right attacking Fauci, right? You have the far right telling people, you sheeps. This is what happens when you follow people. That's why I don't get a vaccine and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So think about it this way. Dr. Fauci has been the advisor for 5 different presidents. Dr. Fauci was the advisor for Donald Trump last year. And he kept him there for a year, didn't fire him, didn't do anything. Yes, he diminished his role when it was coming towards the end. His role was less and less and less. Fauci spoke way less up to a point that Fauci didn't even speak at all or didn't even go to the meetings, right? And now you have people from the right saying that it's Fauci's fault because he told people to get vaccinated, the CDC, this and that. Look, people. Let me tell you something. This is a vaccination. This is not a cure. Okay? You can get your flu, you can get vaccinated for the flu. That doesn't mean you're not going to get it. Okay? So you're going to get the flu. You're just not going to get it. You're not going to get it as severe as if it was that you didn't have the vaccination. Right? Well, that bad. That looks bad. You see? I want to say that. There we go. That's better. All right, that's better. So you don't get the vaccination. I mean, you don't get it as bad as you would if you didn't have the vaccination. Now, some people think that their ideas of vaccination that is the cure. Well, if I got vaccinated, that means that I cannot get the virus. No, that's not the way it works. The way this works, with any vaccine, is that it allows your body to fight off, and it won't hit you as hard. So that means that the things with COVIDs are hospitalization, ICU, and incubation. So this way, so you don't get incubated, you don't have to go to the ICU, and you don't have to go to the hospital to give you the vaccine. So that lessens the blow. Yes, you have COVID, but you won't get those bad those bad symptoms that will make you go to a hospital. That's all a vaccine is. And when the CDC came out and said you can go into places, but make sure that you can go to your family's home, but make sure that those family members are vaccinated. Because if you're vaccinated, they're vaccinated. Okay, you guys pass it on to each other, but you're vaccinated. You got me? But as a vaccinated person, me, myself, I will not go into Walmart. I will not go into Target. I will not go into my local supermarket without a mask just because I am vaccinated. I wouldn't do that. Because the same way I walked around before I got vaccinated with a mask on, It's the same way I'm going to walk around being vaccinated. I'm still going to walk with my mask on. For the simple reason is because everybody's not vaccinated. This is just a vaccine. So just because you have the vaccine does not mean that you have that you cured. So you could be walking around. You could be walking around with COVID, be asymptomatic, and you pass it on to me. And then here I come. I don't know it, and I pass it on to somebody else because I am I got the vaccine. And you might and then pass it on to somebody that doesn't have the vaccine, and poof, they go and they die. And that's not the way you want to do things. So just because you have the vaccine does not mean you go out there and you go out without a mask. Always you gotta wear your mask until this thing goes over. This is turning out to be an endemic, meaning that we're gonna have this like if we had the flu. Every season we're gonna get some shit like a COVID-19 season, like you got the flu season. You're gonna get the COVID-19 season. Okay, so don't be blaming Fauci. Don't be blaming the CDC. Blame those people who, in their mind, whether they right wings or left wings, they think that just because they got vaccinated, that they can go walk around without a mask on, then nothing's going to happen. Okay, so what they're doing is irresponsible too because they're walking around without a mask and they're spraying it. So there is no misinformation here. This is the way that I took it. This is the way that I talked to some Republicans in my town. I talk to Democrats, but my town is basically Republicans, and they feel the same way that I do. Just because you have the vaccine does not mean you should be walking around without a mask. You should be maxed up. Plain and simple. Mask yourself up until this goes away. Guys, how hard is it to put a mask on? It's not hard at all. Right? It's not hard at all. You know, we're going to continue going on this. This has nothing to do with freedom. This has nothing to do with your rights. This has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with public safety. You want to get rid of this. And if you don't want to get rid of it, if it's not going to go away, but at least diminish it, because at least we know that if we all mask up, right, and the virus is still out there and the virus is low, and you can say, oh, only 5% of the population has it, or maybe 2%. You can say, you know what? Mask does work. It does work. Okay? So that's what it is. You know, just wear a mask. I mean, someone told me, Gio, if the government didn't say wear a mask, then some people will wear a mask. Okay? Put it this way. You see this water, this bottled water. I drink it. One assumes that it's healthy, right? Because it's a bottled water. But do I look at the ingredients? Supposed to be water, right? By the way, my point is that you eat a hamburger, you eat a Frankfurter, you eat outside. Do you look at the ingredients of what that particular food has inside? No, you don't, right? But you eat it anyway because you're in your brain. You think that it's that food. Then the other day, Subway, they came out. They were not selling real tuna. It was taken to a lab that they were not selling real tuna. And here you go thinking that you're eating real tuna, and you're not. Plain and simple. So if you're not paying attention to what you consume in your body, when you go to these restaurants, when you go to fast food because you think McDonald's selling pure food because it's McDonald's, or Wendy's is selling very real food because it's Wendy's, or whatever the case may be, or your local Italian shop is selling real spaghetti when it's not. So if you don't question that, then don't question. I mean, a lot of people say the vaccine it was done in a year. The vaccine was not done in a year, guys. Remember back in 2009, we had a SARS outbreak, right? Several hundreds of thousands of people died. And a vaccine was made. You can look it up. A vaccine was made. But when the vaccine was made, and they was going to do trials, and they was going to put it out to the public, SARS went away. So those ingredients, that concoction, got stored away, right? So you put it there. So all of a sudden, 12 years later, SARS-19 comes out, or 10 years later, COVID-19 comes out. It has the same RNA, somewhat similar to that. So all you got to do is tweak it a little bit. And that's what it's done. That's why they were able to come out with it so quick. Because they already had a batch All these companies did. All right. So that's what you do. So so this is not something new. Maybe it's new in this absence that inoculating people and going into humans. That probably was new, but it was not new. The the vaccine. The vaccine has been there for a while, 10 years. It was just hidden. That's plain and simple. It was just hidden. So don't think by any chance that this was just came up overnight, because it didn't. Look, when AIDS first came out back in the 80s, they had 25 different pills. 25. I know of people that were taking 25 freaking pills back in the 80s for AIDS. Was it safe? No one knew. But they took 25 pills back in those days. And I met some of those people. I met a few of them when I was in Puerto Rico. They had AIDS they had it for 30 some odd years from the beginning of HIV, since the beginning of AIDS. And they're doing great. But they were telling me stories that when AIDS first came out, they were taking 25 pills compared to just one pill a day nowadays, or 3 pills a day. You can't. So, back in those days, they were the reason that AIDS flunk out a lot. It's not because AIDS killed, because AIDS does not kill. What it was is that a lot of people, when they gave them that news that they had AIDS, they put that in their mind, and they just go berserk, and they just say, you know what? I only got a few months to live, so I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna do drugs. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and that brought down their immune system. And when you bring down your immune system, and then you're compromising your body, and other antigens can go inside your body, other viruses can go into your body. That's right, live. King Geo live from my penthouse. Whoever wants to play that piano, go up, play it. Some Bach, Mozart. So HIV is just a virus that it doesn't kill you. It kills your CD4 cells, and if you don't take care of yourself, it's all a mental game. And in those days, gay guys, homosexual guys were sleeping with another at an alarming rate. They were jumping from bed to bed. And what was happening is that you got one person who has AIDS, right? Sleeps with this person who also has AIDS, right? And then these two AIDS are not the same. So now one mutates. Now the one could have a stronger strain than the other one, and that takes over. So now this person has, let's say, strain A, and this person has strain B. Strain B is stronger than strain A, so strain B is going to take over, and this person might die quicker because the immune system is low and they don't take care of themselves. A lot of people just die of pneumonia. Some people, a lot of people, my brother had toxoplasmosis. So if you take care of yourself with AIDS and you eat right, you exercise, to be honest with you, you don't really need pills, to be honest with you. But that's a whole different story. So the same thing comes up with COVID-19. This vaccine has been out there for years. It's just now that we're doing it in humans. And I just don't find I don't find it why is it so hard for you to put on a mask and say, you know what? If we did this for 60 days, if we maxed up for 60 days, so you know what? Let's get rid of this. And we maxed up for 60 days, I guarantee you it will go down. It would go down. Now, for the sake of argument, Australia went the other day on a complete lockdown. So let's see. So they went on a complete lockdown because of the Delta virus, the variant. I'm sorry. So they go like this. Australia COVID-19 cases. All right. So as of July 28th, right, there were 205 new cases.
All right. There were times in June there was 0, March 0. The highest peak was July 31st, 2020, when they had 602 new cases. You know, and that's Australia, and they went into full lockdown. They had 33,732 cases, right? The whole entire thing, and they only got 920. I mean, 820 deaths. Okay, Australia. This is new. 33,726 cases and 923 deaths. Compared to the United States, that's nothing. But 923 deaths is a lot because there's 923 people who passed away, unfortunately, when they could have not passed away. Right, you says inoculation can be beneficial in some cases, usually injecting a liquid as a protection against a deadly disease. If it can save your life, why not? Well, I believe in vaccines. How do you think we got rid of polio? But with polio came that's how AIDS came out with polio, with the polio vaccine. Believe it or not. The sad thing is that when it came to polio, those who got inoculated with the polio were people from African people. And when they did the polio, that's when they knew that monkeys had simian immune virus, which is for them is HIV. And they injected with the polio. That's what they were injecting in Africa. That's why in Africa HIV is different from HIV here in the United States or in Latin America. Here they have HIV 1, and in Africa it has HIV 2. The difference between those two is that HIV 1 is quicker to turn into AIDS than HIV 2. To me, AIDS and HIV is the same thing, and I say this because it's not like the influenza. A flu can convert into a pneumonia. What does that mean? That means that that DNA of that flu now is no longer the DNA of a flu. Now it turned over into now the DNA of the influenza has turned over into the flu. I mean, uh, into a pneumonia. So two different bacterias, right? Not with HIV. HIV and AIDS is the same thing. There's no changing of anything. The only reason they call it HIV because it sounds much more nicer for you to say I'm HIV positive than to say I have AIDS. Because people that when you say you have AIDS, people will look at you differently, and that's the truth. Okay, back in the day, you say you had AIDS, boom, you were stigmatized. You say you have HIV now, oh, it's okay, you can live with that. But go around saying you have AIDS, see what happens. People are going to move, man, don't get close to me. You know, because there's nothing, there is no difference between that. The only reason they say that you have AIDS now is when you have your CD4s go below 200. So if you got 200, your CD4s is 200 or below, CDC tells that you have AIDS. If your CD4s are up or above 200, you have HIV. Same shit. What happens to a person who has one CD4, one T cell, and then raises his T cells to 1,000? So that person still has AIDS, but he just raised, according to you guys, 200 CD4s, 200 CD4s or less. It's just a money thing. That's what it is. But like what you said, if it can save your life, why not? Why not chance it? I want you to see something, guys, right? And this is true. Look at this. I want you to see this, okay? Ready? Hold on a minute. You put the volume up.
Phil Valentine. And last December on Phil's...
Look at this. Ready? I'm going to show you this guy. All right? Look at this. So I want you to hear it.
This is conservative radio show host and all-around loudmouth Phil Valentine. And last December on Phil's blog called It's Just Common Sense, he had this to say about getting the vaccine. He said, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just using common sense. What are my odds of getting COVID? They're pretty low. What are my odds of dying from COVID if I do get it? Probably way less than 1%. I'm doing what everyone should do, and that's my own personal health risk assessment. And then in June, he poked more fun at vaccines by doing this parody song called Vaxman. But now we're asked to pray for Phil because he got COVID and is currently on a ventilator. And during an appearance on an FM radio station in Nashville, Phil's brother Mark said his brother was regretful that he wasn't a more vocal advocate for getting vaccinated. And he went on to say, for those listening, I know if he were able to tell you this, he'd tell you, go get vaccinated. Quit worrying about politics. Quit worrying about all the conspiracy theories. What?
So look at that. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens. I seen pastors die because of COVID, because they say they tell their church, do not get vaccinated. I mean, don't worry about it. Don't wear your mask. And boom, the pastor gets COVID and dies. Thank you, Rayus. I appreciate it. Guys, you can buy a super sticker once when I do my lives. So think about it. Here's this guy saying to his people, don't get vaccinated. It's a hoax. Don't do this, don't do that. And the irony is that he himself got COVID-19. And unfortunately, right now, he is in a ventilator. You don't want to see no one, even if they go against what you think should be right. You don't want to wish death on nobody. You know, that's not us for the side anyway. We're not God. But here he is talking about don't get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. And unfortunately, he gets COVID and he gets put into an incubator. What's the irony of that? Could be possible that the same people who created COVID could be, but remember, COVID was not created. COVID was already here when, like I said, in 2009, it was with SARS. I believe that COVID was something that was being dealt with, and then it escaped. And they got out of control. But you can also say, like Ryu said, they probably came up with the COVID because they had so many things, they had so many stash of this vaccine stacked up. What are we going to do with this? So let's create a pandemic. And then, because here in the United States, you have to go to the Food and Drug Administration, which is the FDA. And that takes 5 years, sometimes 10, to get approved for a drug. So what's the best way to get your drug approved? Cut through all the red tape. You do a pandemic, right? Or you do a pandemic and boom, you cut the red tape. You have a little doctor say this, that, and voila, your drug is in the market. Now they're talking about doing a booster shot. I ain't doing a booster shot. I already got vaccinated. I'm not doing no more booster shot. If I have to wear a mask for the rest of my life, then so be it. But I'm not gonna get inoculated again, not for a booster, because I know for a fact that these booster shots are probably to make more money to these companies. And even though it's not coming out of our pocket, our government is paying for it, but somewhere along the line, we're gonna end up paying for it in some way, shape, or form. Taxes are gonna go up and blah 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 blah. Nothing in this world is free. The only thing free is the love of God. The only thing free, but you have to earn it, is salvation. The only thing free is the kingdom of heaven. Those things are free. But everything else in this life, one way or the other, you will have to pay. Because nothing is free, my brother. When you go into a store and it says buy one, get one free, I don't think so. Somewhere in the line, it says, because, the first thing we do when we go to the store is like, oh, holy crap. This is $29.99, and they're giving you two for $29.99. And maybe if you've never been to that store before, last week or the week prior to that same thing, which is just for one, was $15, right? So now they're giving you two for $29.99. So you say to yourself, wow, this is a bargain. Because for two, it'd be $40. I mean, $60. But you didn't know, little did you know, that 2 weeks ago, that same product was at $15 just for one. So they're selling you two for $29. All they're doing is just jacking up the price twice for one item. You're getting two products for the same price, but you just don't think about that. Nothing. They're not going to give you buy one get one free like that, because it just doesn't work that way. So, like I said, nothing is free in this world. Nothing. So if you think you're getting away with something, you're not. Let's just say you go to a store And they say, okay, fine, we got 20% off. You said to yourself, wow, 20%, that's good. But when you come figure it out, depending on the state that you're in, you say here, in New York, sales tax is 7.25. All right, let's say Puerto Rico, where sales tax is 12.25. Right? So you got 20% off. So what are you really saving at 12.25? What? 7.5%? That's nothing. So you say to yourself, oh wow, I'm getting paid. I'm saving 20% off. I'm saving 20%. But here you're paying 12.5% in tax. So you only got 7.5 that you're actually saving, and that's nothing. Well, I don't think the WHO controls our country. I think that pharmaceuticals is the one that control the politicians. Pharmaceuticals is the one that put these people who make them rich. Hey, what up, Charles? Long time no see, buddy. You know, just think about it this way. The same medication that you get here, you can go to Mexico and get it for cheaper. Same way you can do it in Canada. You get it for cheaper. Right? I saw people that going from San Diego, from California, going to Mexico for dental work because it's cheaper there. If you go to Mexico, a gastro bypass is cheaper there. You go to other countries, a gastro bypass is cheaper there. But over here, you're paying $40,000-$50,000 for something that's simple. You're paying for a strip. For insulin for diabetics, it's sky high. Sky. When they came out with a cure for hepatitis C, do you know how much was one shot? One shot for them. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like $20,000, something like that, or $5,000, between $5,000 and $20,000. I was like, what? Just for one shot? And you need to do multiple shots for that. Why is there no cure for cancer, which I know there is, because it's not beneficial? No country is going to come out and say we have the cure for cancer. But there is. You have remedies out there. You have these plants that God gave us that are cure. You got so many scientists out there, someone somewhere that they got the cure for cancer, but they're not going to tell you because either they shut up. Well, the World Health Organization exists because you got world scientists there who are telling you, by data, what you can and can't do. You got countries like Africa who doesn't have the specialties, the specialists that Canada has, the United States have, other countries have. So they depend on what the WHO says. Look at the Philippines. Is it the Philippines? I think so. This is one of those Asian countries that Japan wants. Japan doesn't want them to be. Not Japan. China doesn't want them to be in with the WHO because they're always going against China, and the way they handle the COVID cases is way different than what China did, and it was pretty good. China's a communist country, so you have to do what they say. So the World Health Organization, it exists. It's for other countries to look at other doctors and say blah 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 blah. Do this, do that, blah blah blah. To keep you informed what's going on in other countries. So if there's a medication that's not working in Israel, the World Organization is going to say, you know what, this didn't work in Israel. So it's more of a. I think one would hope it's more of a communicational thing. So I don't know. It is what it is. It is what to me. Let me tell you something. It is what it is. Let me tell you my experience, people. My experience. As you guys are aware, I've had HIV for the past 19 years. All right. So when I started off with 3 medications, and 3 medications twice a day. And then they lowered it down. Then they gave me some other medication, which, and then they took one medication and put it into it. So then I was taking 2 medications once a day. So then I have a friend of mine who's allergic to one of the medications. So she decided to take that medication away because the doctor said it's called Descovy and TVK. They said TVK cannot work without Descovy, and Descovy cannot work without TVK. They both go hand in hand. They both work with each other, right? So here you are, a schmuck, thinking I'm taking these motherfucking pills because this is gonna save my life. So I spoke to my friend, and she was like, "Hey, Gio, this medication, which one of them has Rayataz, and Rayataz right now, GlaxoSmith and GlaxoSmith are getting sued as a class action suit because they had a less potent medication. It's a Rayataz medication, but it's less potent. They had that, and they kept that away from the people. And with the Rayataz that they have in the market now, well, not now, before, that has caused people bone density, liver problems, and other kidney problems. So they go into a massive lawsuit right now as we speak. So we have one medication that's supposed to help out the other. So my friend tells me, "Yo, Gio, one of those medications, Rayataz, I'm allergic to it, blah, blah, I'm not taking it, so I'm just going to take this one, which is TVK, right?" Remember, I said that the TVK and the Descovy, the doctor said that I need both of them in order for them to work. I cannot have one without the other. Okay. So my friend told me this. I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. So I'm going to take away the one that has the Rayataz, and I'm going to keep TVK. Right? So normally, if one cannot work with the other, that would mean that once I start taking the TVK by itself, that means that my viral load, which means the HIV, will go up, and my CD4, which is my good cells, will go down because you have more of this than this. I got the 80s. So, Lord and behold, a year and a half later, right? A year and a half later, just by taking TVK, my viral loads are undetected. Same thing has been for the past 15 years. I mean, my viral loads are undetected, and my CD4, my last one was 800 and something. The normal body has between 500 and 1600 CD4s, depending on which lab is doing it. Each lab has a different criteria, but my lab is that way, 1600. So I got 800, right? 800 and let me see. My lab says. I'm gonna show you right now. My lab test was like I'm gonna show you. My test results. My lab test. Okay, my CD4 is 844. You see right here, it says 1790. So for that lab, if you have 1790, you're good. For other labs, it's less than that. Or it could be more than that for some labs. It depends on the lab. So mine is 844, a little bit more than what they require, what they say. So that's just with one medication, guys. Remember, the medication, they said that I need both of them in order for both of them to work. And I've been taking one, and they've been working perfectly. So I know for a fact that all pharmaceuticals want to do is get you hooked on pills so you can make them more money. And I even called a company who does that TVK, and I told them, that you don't need 2 pills, you only need one. And the reason I told them that is that maybe they can go and they market themselves by themselves. But they're all in it together, and they don't give a shit. So my thinking is, the less medication I take, the better it is for my body. I don't have to put too much strain on my kidneys. I don't have to put too much strain on my liver. I don't have to put so much strain on my heart. That's the way that I see it, And sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I go days, even a month without taking my pill, and nothing. So I have so much of the medication in my body that you can go months. It's not recommended. I'm not saying you should go out there and do it, but it's just me. And I wouldn't say a month. I go maybe 2 or 3 days without it. Maybe for the farthest I've gone is a week. Then I just take my pills normally, and that's it. but my body's used to it. So yeah, look at my penthouse. Look at my penthouse. Shit. King Geo flying high, you know what I'm saying? The Miami Marlins hat, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful, guys. When you get your green screen, you cannot have green, of course. There are certain colors that will not, like this black. You see how this black right here? The way you see it on the screen? It's not matching with this. That's why I put it down. Something about that metal that's making it so I put that, and I tell you what, let me see. I can go like this. There you go. You can still see that. You can still see right here. If I put it, you can still not now, but if you go like this, you see how it fades, and those doesn't fade. So there are certain colors that you can use for the green room. Like the shirt's very important. What you use if you're using a hat like I use, So that's why I sit on my couch. That's my door. I'm waiting for Amazon. So yeah, so getting the COVID vaccine is nothing, guys. And if you don't want to get it, don't get it. But mask up. Mask up. If you truly believe that this is a conspiracy, at least mask up. Let's get this virus down. Let's get this virus to a point that we can say, you know what? Let's go back to normal. Let's go back to normal. Because, guys, if you don't know nothing about science, viruses do mutate. And there could be a time when the mutation is going to come. You can say, you know what? I'm going to get rid of all you. You can't stop me. So not everybody's going to have to stay stuck inside until they find something. And you're like, oh, man, it's conspiracy theory. Oh, I need to go outside. I need to do this. I need to do that. You can't tell me what to do. It's my right. Damn it, I am an American citizen. I can do it. Please, I say please. Damn it. That's the way they say. I'm an American. I'm exercising my American right. Yet, check this out. Yet, I'm exercising my American right. I can do what I can do and please with my body. But you cannot go out there and have an abortion. That's a sin, I tell you. Don't do it. Hypocrisy at its best, right? I just love it when people talk and they don't listen to what they're saying, and everything is all backwards, So it's like it's kind of funny. It really is. But because here on one hand you're saying it's my body, I do whatever I want to do with it, right? Because it's my body. I can choose to use it and abuse it the way I feel like it. But then the same person that's saying this is my body, I do as I please with it, comes out and says, you cannot have an abortion. That's a sin. You're killing a baby. You cannot do that with your body. But you can do whatever you want with yours, but she cannot do whatever she wants with hers. That doesn't make any sense. And so when they talk like that, when people talk like that, I laugh at their stupidity. I went to a job interview one time, and the person asked me, what's your pet peeve? What is it that you don't like about people? And she said, right off the bat, she said, you can say stupid. I'm like, well, yeah, I don't like stupid people. I can have a simple conversation with you, but if you say something stupid, it irritates me. You can ask me a dumb question. I don't mind that. Well, there is no dumb question because no one, everyone doesn't know everything. So there is no dumb question. But when you put yourself in a scenario and you say, this is that, I'm not gonna get vaccinated because it's in my body, but yet that person can have an abortion because it's sin. It's a bad thing to do. So you can tell that person that she cannot do what she wants with her body, but you're telling that you can do whatever you want with your body because you're an American. Doesn't make any sense. We're getting there. People are slowly getting vaccinated. Well, let's hope so. Canada's one thing. I guess Canadian people, different people think differently. I'm using common sense. That's why I went to school. That's why I went to one of the best high schools in the nation. And I think I kind of know how science works. And I think I know how vaccine works. And I know how the human body works. So America's a food of contradiction. In Dallas, strippers, bartenders have to be 21 and older to work at a club. But you could buy a gun at the age of 18, which is true. That is true. You can do certain things at a certain age. Like right here in Florida, in North Carolina, isn't there some crazy shit? The other day they passed the law. They changed the law. Before you were able to be 16 years old to get married. Now they changed it to 14. What 14-year-old has the capacity to know what's good and right? To know, I love this person. I want to marry this person. I want to spend the rest of my fucking teenage years married to one scumbag. Instead of saying, let me enjoy my teenage years, let me enjoy my 20s, and then let me get married. Or let me make my own decision when I'm 18 or 19, when my mind has developed some more. But to tell a 14-year-old, sure, go right ahead, you can get married. You know what that does, right? That just tells you to the 14-year-old little girls and boys, especially girls, is that if you don't like it in your house, go get married. So then you got someone who's 18 years old or a kid who's 16 years old, doesn't need the parents' permission, and say, babe, will you marry me? Now, I'm assuming you're emancipated because both of you are now legally married. A 16-year-old and a 14-year-old are married. Well, they don't even know how to wipe their ass correctly. It's something that we in Spanish in Puerto Rico we say. A lot of us Hispanics and Latinos we say that you don't even know enough to wipe your own ass. You don't even know how to wipe your own ass, and you want to talk about getting married at 14 years old. And that's the funny thing. And this is the law. I think they passed it. I'm not sure, but I heard about it the other day, and I was in shock. So like Rayu says, you could be. You have to be 21 years old to go into a bar. You have to be 21 years old to be a stripper. But you can buy a gun. You can do much more damage with a gun than you can do with a stripper. I mean, the stripper will do damage depending on what it is. You know what I'm saying? But a gun can take a life away. And so can a stripper, though. In certain ways, she can. Well, anyway. But the point here is that you could do more damage with a gun. You can take someone's life away with a gun than going to a club or being a stripper. They were even the United States were even trying to lower the age of voting from 18 to 16 years old. So this way you can get more people to vote. More little kids. How can you put a little kid to vote? 16 years old, your mind's still not developed yet. 18 years old, and your mind's not developed yet. It takes time. Your mind develops. I believe that your mind develops through experience. You could be smart. Don't get me wrong. You can know math. You could be a genius in math. You can be a genius in reading. You could be a genius in whatever. But in life situations, in the things that life happens, the way life happens, you only mature through that. That's through experiences that you go through in life. That's the only way that you're mature. I can tell you. I can tell you. You take Albert Einstein. You could take Albert Einstein. You could have taken Tesla. You could have taken Stephen Hawking, and you put them out in the streets to survive. You put them in the woods to survive. When I say we put them in the streets to survive, they wouldn't know how to survive because they don't have those skills. Their skills is just math or science. But surviving skills, they don't know how to do that because they've never been in the streets. They don't know what it is. They don't know if someone's taking you for a fool. They don't know if this person is jerking you off. But they don't know none of that. And that's how you get maturity. Like I said, you could be astute in that field. But when it comes to the things of life, you don't know. Albert Einstein was cooped up in his office every day. He never went outside and spent time with people. Tesla, Stephen Hawking, Tyson Grassi, none of them that because they spend too much time in their brain thinking of new things. So how to do this theory, how to prove this theory, how to prove this. They all want to prove something, but they don't go out there and live. And that's it. So let's see if people start taking this. I just read today. There's another variant coming out of Colombia, and it's in Miami. And because there's a lot of trouble between Miami and Colombia, now that variant is coming in to the United States. It's B12, some crap like that. So here we go with another variant. Not just the Delta variant, now a new variant came out. What's gonna happen, bro? I don't know. I really don't know. But anyway, guys, this is my last call. Last call for the beer. Last call for the bar. Last call. I went dancing. I really used to go to a club and then like 4 o'clock in the morning. Last call. Last call. You guys never go to never ever go home with a woman who's dressed all in black in a bar and you can't tell nothing. You can't see shit. That happened to me, and to this day I regret it. I have nightmares. I really do. Because that day I remember I was in a bar. This girl, she was all dressed in black, and I was drunk. And she's like, "Want to dance?" And we danced, and the call bar. He said, last call, and we drank. She goes, "You want to go home?" And we're home, and she's like, when we get there, I'm like, she's like, before we got there, she was like, I got something to tell you. She goes, "What?" She goes, "Well, in my house I have a wild animal." And I'm like, "Oh, really? What you got? A cat? No. A dog? No. A snake? No. No, nothing." So I go into her house. The first thing I'm looking for a wild animal. I didn't see shit. I go into a room, and I see this empty room with a candle, and in the candle, it was a piece of paper on the wall. It had a prayer. I remember the do re mi do re mi. It's not do re mi fa sol la. It's one of those. It was a famous African prayer, but I forgot the name of it. It's in my head, but I can't take it out. And I was like, whoa. I'm like, oh shit. I called my boy up and I said, "Yo, Fred, I don't know where I'm at. You got this shit in the caller ID. If I don't make it back tomorrow, call 50." So and then the following, I was scared shitless. So the following day, when sobriety hit, and I couldn't sleep at all. She slept like a baby. And sobriety hit, I was like, I saw like, what the really? So we go, she's driving me to my house. And as she's driving me to my house, we're getting to the parking spot. My boy looks at her and she goes, "Hi." And he goes, "What's up?" And she leaves. And my friend goes, "Yo, Gio, that was the same girl from yesterday?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Yo, you need to stop drinking." I said, "Listen, you motherfucker. You were with me. You saw better than I did, and you let me go home with her. I thought you were supposed to be my boy. If you were my boy, you would have stopped me." To this day, I don't remember how that's how hard she was. Because if I don't, and I'm good with faces. If I don't remember your face, that means there's something wrong. And they tell you, I was drunk, and she just appeared right there with a black, dressed in black, gothic black. I didn't think anything of it. A lot of people dress in black. No, but this wasn't a black dress. Not Rayus. If I sit here and I told you people the shit that I've been through in my life with girls, or I mean shit with gentlemen, either you'll laugh at shit like, and you will laugh at some of the shit that I say, and you be like, "Yo, G, you fucked up." Because let me tell you something, I seen a lot of things in life, and this is a rated PG show. You know what I mean? So I was like, but it was something. It's something. It just caught my attention when she said, "I have an animal in the house," and not just an animal. She had a wild animal, and I'm looking. And what caught me was that when I saw that room, it was empty, and a candle, and a prayer. I said, "Oh my, this is my day." So when she took a shower, that's when I called my boy. He didn't even pick up the phone, and I was like, "Yo, your friend. If I don't make it tomorrow, this is where I'm at. You got the caller ID. I don't know what this is. Blah 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 blah. But hey, it is what it is." But you be doing some weird shit, So man. So yeah, so I was thinking. You know what I was thinking too? I was thinking about doing. I'm not sure if I should. I was doing this. I was thinking about because I'm gonna do a stand up one of these days. And I think I'm gonna do it for my birthday. But I wanted to do something, and being that this is all because everybody, when people tell me you're Gio, you fucking homo, blah blah. I'm like, what? I said, well, you lucky you don't catch me on Thursday because Thursday is my drag day. Thursday is when I dress in drag. I was thinking about doing a show every Thursday, drag day Thursday, but I don't know. That's just to play around, guys. I'm not gay. I have nothing against gay people. I have my brother; he was gay. I have a lot of. Well, I don't have a lot now, but I have a few friends who are gay. We haven't spoken in years, but I still know them. Yo, Ryus, you hit it right in the head. The girl was a freak. Bitch scared the shit out of me. I tell you the shit the bitch did. I was like, what? But anyway, that's for another rated R show. Which, of course, we don't do that here because we are the conservatives. And we do things right. Oh, man. But yeah. The things that we do, you know, one of the most, you can look at Superman. You can look at Batman. Superman is his weak spot. It's kryptonite. And every superhero has to have their weak spot, right? But what do they all have in common? Women. And any woman can bring any of them down. Any of them. Think about it. Look at Lucifer. Look at the show Lucifer. If you've seen the show Lucifer on Netflix, Lucifer gets weak when he's with Chloe, right? When he's with Chloe, he gets weak. A woman. When he's not with Chloe, he's so powerful. But when he's next to Chloe, he dies. The woman thing is powerful, bro. More powerful than kryptonite. I mean, men have died. Men have laid down their lives for that. I'm telling you. The things men do. And you can see that if the thing was made out of gold, you can see the thing was pushing out 14 karat. You could see some shit like that. But it's not even that. It's not. And then the funny thing is that, right? Here goes one guy. He hits that girl up, right? He hits her. He does what he hits that. They have a good. Let's say they did together like for 2 or 3 months. He hits that for 2 or 3 months, right? Doesn't take care of her for 2 or 3 months because she's she's giving us up. Then they break up, right? In those 3 months, he didn't pay attention to it just because she was giving him some. So they break up 3 months later. She gets us up on another man. And he comes extra dude saying, "Yo, man, you're doing my girl. She's my girl, bro." And when he sees her holding her hand or holding her ear, "Yo, man, what's wrong? What's going on? Man, you weren't paying attention when you were hitting that. Now you're not hitting that. Now you're paying attention. Huh? What's wrong with you?" I'm telling you, man. That's some powerful shit. I think I never had that problem. I'm the type of man that if it works out, it works out. You want to become friends with benefits, we become friends with benefits. But I will not go back with a girl and say, if I see her with another man, I'm not going to go, "Oh, yo, man, what you do?" Nah, that's not me. That's not my style. We did what we did. Things didn't work out. You go your way, I go mine. And I wish you the best of luck. Or you got guys who pay no attention to the kids, get the girl pregnant, pays no child support, don't be in the kid's life for shit. And then when she gets a man that's worthy, that the kid's worthy of calling him, that he's worthy, that the kid calls him dad, here comes baby biological father. "Yo, man, I better not see you do this to my kid. I better not see you do this to my kid. Hey, yo, my brother." Man, nigga, you weren't in the picture in the first place. Now you're talking about I can't get the fuck out of here. Men are weird. But like I said, that's for an R-rated show. This is rated PG-13. That's not bad. See, I was gonna say that if I ever have a restaurant, my restaurant was gonna be called Rated PG, and only because my daughter's two names. One starts with a P, the other one starts with a G. So I was gonna put Rated PG. And now that I'm thinking about that, I was thinking about as I'm seeing my camera, so I'm seeing it says the King Geo Show, and I think it's gonna be a good idea to put the Rated PG show. No, or I can just put Rated PG. What do you think? Anyways, that's the story of a man named Brady. He had 3 lovely boys of his own. That was one white show, the Brady Bunch. Inbreed. I'm just joking. Well, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please mask up. Let's do this together. We can come out of it. Like I said, this has nothing to do with your rights. This has nothing to do with taking away your freedom. This has something to do with safety and health issues. This has to do with your safety, making sure that you see tomorrow, making sure that your loved ones see tomorrow, regardless of the color of the skin, regardless of their of their political status, or regardless of their religious status. Okay, we need to stick together as all from the United States to the other side of the world. We stick together, and we just need to mask up, and we need to do this because this is getting ridiculous, guys. Here in the United States, this is getting ridiculous. This is horrendous. We just can't go like this. It's going to get worse if we don't stop it. All right. So anyway, so thank you guys and girls for joining my thing. Yes, it's about taking care of one another, taking care of each other, and that's very important. And doesn't have to do anything with political. It doesn't have to do with nothing. We're all human beings. We're all creatures of God. We're children of God, not creatures of God. We are children of God, and we owe it to each other to take care of one another. All right. So with that being said, thank you everyone for watching my show. Thank you, Rayush. Thank you, Gataidi. Thank you for the 99 cents that you sent me. That is much appreciated. That 99 cents will go to feed the hungry. Anyways, thank you for watching. Mask up, guys and girls. See you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Don't know the topic.